A day after Mehul Choksi returned to Antigua from Dominica, the fugitive diamond businessman has now decided to play victim. There's an audio message that has been sent to our India Today team, and Choksi has accused the Indian agencies of allegedly kidnapping him. Listen in to this exclusive audio message.
Fugitive diamantaire Mehul Choksi breaks silence after returning to Antigua from Dominica. In an audio message sent to India Today, Choksi plays the victim card, claims kidnapping and torture, his plans on returning to India.
I'm back home, but this torture has left permanent scars on my psychology and physically, rather permanent scars on my soul.
Desperate Choksi accuses Indian agencies of kidnapping.
I could have never imagined that after closing down all my business and seizing all my properties, a kidnapping attempt would be made on me by the Indian agencies. I was always hearing about it, but I never believed that they could go to this extent.
Cornered Choksi claims he is ready for questioning in Antigua.
When I'm legally contesting and exercising my legal rights here in Antigua, and also I have many times spoken that due to my health I'm not been able to travel, and please visit here if you want to interrogate me, or by Zoom or anything. I'm always available.
Choksi's melodrama doesn't end there. He claims threat to his life if he comes to India.
Though till now I have been seriously considering to return to prove my innocence in India, my medical condition is very bad and it has worsened like anything in the last over these 50 days of my kidnapping, and I'm extremely apprehensive of my safety in India.
With Munish Pandey, Bureau Report, India Today.
And that audio was accessed by my colleague Munish Pandey. He's now joining me. Also, Vijay Aggarwal. He's the lawyer representing Mehul Choksi. I want to now hand over to Munish. Munish, over to you now because you've been tracking this case so closely. We also have the lawyer of Mehul Choksi. Over to you, Munish.
Thank you, Pooja. We are being joined by Mr. Vijay Aggarwal, who is lawyer of Mr. Mehul Choksi. Mr. Aggarwal, the first question to you is, many would question about this audio clip. Now he's almost giving a sense that he is a victim here. What do you have to say?
That is the stand, and of course he is the victim. He's been kidnapped. The battle should have been on the in the courts, but they for the Indian agencies for the battle on the sea, on the beaches, and all this has been done. And now there is overwhelming evidence. Lot of skeletons have come out of the closets, and now that is why an abuse of process petition was filed in Dominica, and it was accepted by the court. That is why there is a stay on all the proceedings in Dominica, and that is why a consent order was passed. Lot of heads would have rolled if it would have stayed more in Dominica, and people would have come to know the truth. But in between, they wanted that, okay, let the man go back to Antigua, where he belongs, where he is the citizen, so that all these attention gets diluted a little bit. But I'm sure final truth will shortly come out.
But Mr. Aggarwal, he's
Yes, Manish.
clearly blaming the Indian agencies for kidnapping. But what evidence do you have that Indian government or Indian officials were involved in this kidnapping? Because as far as Mr. Mehul Choksi is concerned, this is only allegation at this point of time.
Against him also in India there are allegations, so the whole criminal law goes only on allegations. And of course a person is getting kidnapped, he will not wear a body cam to have the photographs of the kidnapper. So there are a lot of circumstantial evidence. There will never be a direct evidence. There are a lot of circumstantial evidence. And this exact evidence is the job of the investigating agencies to find out. And how will the exact evidence come out when the investigating agencies themselves are involved? But see, there are a lot of evidence. First is that if he was to go on his own, he was not kidnapped. Why will he not carry the passport? Why will he not carry any luggage with him? Then when it was announced to the world by a radio jockey that he's in lockup in Dominica, then how can Indian agencies write to Dominica on 25th itself that send this man back to India? So there are a number of things. Then how will the torture marks come on him? How will he enter into Dominica without anyone knowing him? Then where are his accomplices? Then all these people who are his kidnappers, they've been all traveling together. They belong to the same place. So a lot of evidence has come, but now everyone wants to close the eyes. It makes a good story to say that, oh, Mehul Choksi, the fugitive, Mehul Choksi looted India. No, but all this truth will come out. And we've seen in so many big cases. It happened in 2G, it happened in Ayushi, it happened in Tarun Tejpal. Initially, there is a lot of hoopla. This happened, that happened, but later on we find out that it was only a mountain out of a molehill. Then nobody asks. Tell me, Manish, have you were covering 2G? Have you turned around and asked anyone ever that why there was a hoopla? Where will the years that people spent in jail? Well, who will return those years? Tell me. In those days also,
let's
you
focus,
pointed fingers and were asking the same thing. You are an old man in this game. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Aggarwal, but the question is the way he disappeared from
Manish.
Antigua and the way he was arrested by the Dominican authorities. Of course, there were several questions. There was also a mystery woman, and you are aware of it. Barbara, the name of the woman was Barbara. I am sure that you must have spoken to Mr. Mehul Choksi. What details do you have gathered about the involvement of this woman, Barbara?
See, in this clip also, he's saying that there are, all these facts are stated in our Antigua police complaint. So that's our stand. So that police complaint, I think your channel had showed. So the complete narrative, there is no need for me to repeat, that complete narrative is in his Antigua police complaint, the role of everyone. And in the audio clip also we heard, he is telling about everyone.
No, but I
Yes,
want to
Manish.
hear from you. I want to hear from you because that woman, when she was interviewed by India Today, she said that she was someone known to Mehul Choksi. Mehul Choksi gifted her rings and all. So whether she was involved in kidnapping or not, that is what I want to know, because you must have spoken to Mr. Mehul Choksi about this.
I speak when I want to speak. What you want to hear, for that you'll have to come and engage me, right? So this is it, Munish. I've told you that our narrative is in the Antiguan police complaint. On your channel, on air, I'll not point fingers at anyone. My client's stand is there in the narrative, in the court, and that you've heard from him only. I'm not here to repeat what my client says. I do that in the court after getting paid for it.
Sir, before I let you go, one final question. Mr. Mehul Choksi is willing to
Manish.
come to India or not?
I'm sorry, I lost your voice. I'm not able to hear you.
My question to you is, sir,
Munish, I have
Mr.
lost your
Mehul
voice.
Choksi, can you hear me, sir?
Munish, I have lost your voice.
Mr. Aggarwal, can you hear me? I think we have lost.
Vijay Aggarwal, and he is representing legally the diamond businessman Mehul Choksi, whose audio clip has been accessed by India Today. Munish Pandey was interviewing Vijay Aggarwal. Very interestingly, Munish, one of the more significant questions that you asked him at the end, we would like to believe that his audio really vanished, although our team is not telling us that, but maybe he didn't want to answer it, but you did put some impertinent questions to the lawyer, and he said that he does feel that it was kidnapping, that he has been treated unfairly. What do you think this audio clip really represents at this moment?
Yeah, well, Pooja, remember, since the day he was arrested in Dominica, the narrative which was built up by the lawyers of Mr. Mehul Choksi was that he was kidnapped, and he was kidnapped in coalition with the Antiguan and Dominican authorities. Now, when he's back in Antigua, the entire blame is Indian authorities. As far as the Indian authorities, Indian agencies or Indian government is concerned, there is no confirmation that there was any such operation in which Mr. Mehul Choksi was kidnapped and then forcefully taken to Dominica. Now, the most interesting part of this audio conversation is where Mehul Choksi is saying that he is willing to come to India. Now, the question is, if he is willing to come to India, then since 2018, he has filed several affidavits before the High Court,
Correct.
before the lower courts, saying that he is willing to come to India. But from last 4 years, he has never made any attempt or communication with the Indian government that he wants to come back to India. On the other side, he is fighting his extradition case in Antigua, saying that he should not be sent back to India.
Okay.
So there are two different things here. On one side, he is claiming in the audio conversation that he wants to come back to India,
Yes.
but on the other side, he is fighting his best not to come back to
And
India.
importantly, his legal team maintains that he has been treated unfairly, that there have been plans against him, and they have a very solid ground to ensure that he is released and will be back very soon. We'll continue the conversation with the legal team, and that was an exclusive audio clip that you just heard about Mehul Choksi claiming victimhood. Munish, thank you very much.